You want to know what keeps me grounded and keeps me focused and keeps me on the straight and narrow as much as possible? It's the fact that I feel like I think about my destiny and my purpose like this. So let's say my assignment is to, let's say God is like, okay, Tangi, you have 5 tasks. And in order to get to this door, you have to complete these 5 tasks and you can go inside this door. Okay. So let's say I complete 3 of the tasks and then there is an individual that comes along my path while I'm working on task number 4. Now this person distracts me, right? And I am on task 4. I have this task and I have another task to do. But this person distracts me and energetically they make me upset or they make me sad or they are taking my energy through lust, right? Because now I'm giving them thoughts. I'm giving them my energy, my thoughts, my power, and I can't really focus on task 4 and 5 that God told me to do. Now, while I'm doing that, they're taking the energy that God has given me to get to task 4 and 5. I'm giving them the energy, right? But let's say that there is someone else who is equally qualified because the blessing is there. But let's say they're working on task 4 and they're not allowing someone to get in their way for task 4, right? They're not allowing distractions. They're not allowing anyone to harvest their energy emotionally. They are ready. And they get to that, they get to task 4 and 5 and it's completed and then they get that blessing. Well, while I am still in that loop, although I'm still eligible to get that blessing, you're distracting me. I need you to stop, please. I already told you to not mess with this. Thank you. Now, while I'm eligible to still have that door because it's my blessing, for that particular time frame, right? It's already gone, right? Now, because I have to go through a lesson now. Because I allowed someone to come in and intercede my energy for task 4 and 5. And now I have to go through that lesson. Now I have to go through that cycle. Because, you know what? I'm going to say this because this message really must be for somebody. Because I was reviewing the video before I upload it. I always review my videos before I upload it. And my son, who was coming in here to distract me when he was playing with this massage gun, he ended up activating my headphones. So that part of the message, like the last 2.5 minutes of the message, was distorted. So anywho, let me recap what I was saying. So you have to go through that cycle. So the energy that you would have had, or the energy that you could have used to go to task 4 and 5, you're actually having to use that to go through a lesson, right? And that lesson could be, you know how they say people, we meet people in a season and we're supposed to just be with that person for a season or interact. And this could be platonic or romantic. It doesn't have to necessarily be romantic. But they say you married somebody who was a seasoned person, and that's what I'm kind of going with. So sometimes we can be in long standing with somebody when it was really supposed to be a short lesson, and we end up not getting to tasks 4 and 5. We end up not getting to that next level to get us to the next level, We kind of stay stagnant. Like, yes, God will still provide for us and take care of us because that's his promise. He gonna take care of his people. But what is due to you, that abundant and that overflow, that can be withheld from you if you are not completing what needs to be fulfilled and worked like how he tells you. Because God is about order. Reading the Bible, from what I've read, he likes order, and there is an order for everything. But anyway, so back to, you go into this cycle now. Now, depending on this cycle, let's say And sometimes cycles, this is how it goes. Like, everything is good for a minute, and then you finally at your breaking point, and you're like, I'm not dealing with this person anymore, or whatever. And then that situation goes away. Well, then you can start working on task number 4. You can finish task 4 and you can start task 5. Well, then they come back around. You see how that loop works? Okay, so while you're doing that, there are people who are doing what God said, because God's will is going to be fulfilled. You still have your part. You still have your promises, but you have to do it how God says do it, so he can bless you how he says he's going to bless you. So while you are not ready to do what he is ready for you to do, there is somebody in place who is ready to fulfill that part, right? So what his will says, it will be done. And again, this might bring controversy because people, they don't believe necessarily. I wouldn't necessarily say it's a destiny swapping thing, but it kind of is, because sometimes, energetically or spiritually, however you want to put it, people come to derail us from our mission, and the person who's coming to thwart the mission is not necessarily the person who is a destiny swapper, right? They just come to interfere and block. But then there's somebody else who will reap that destiny. Okay. Now, there is more to this, yes, but this is what keeps me grounded. This is what keeps me I call it high alert, because I'm very hyper vigilant. I stay focused, I always pay attention to my energy, and I want you to pay attention to your energy too. So make sure you're paying attention to your energy, and I really hope that helped.